Hello friends, it's Sarah here from the Centre for Mental Health, and I should start by saying I'm sorry if I do this every now and again because it is really hot where I am, and whilst I've got a fan next to me, it's not quite cutting it, so I apologise and I hope it's not too distracting. I'm actually doing a quick video today to talk about the government's obesity strategy, and if you've been looking at the Centre's social media accounts, you will have seen quite a lot of information about what we think of the obesity strategy, and I think I'm going to really try hard to not keep saying that word obesity. And the reason why is because we have chosen with the Centre, with our partners at Rethink and at the Royal College, to not use that term, but to use the term healthy weight management. So it's a bit of a longer mouthful, but that's effectively what we're talking about. However, I guess I'm coming from a much more personal perspective when I talk about this strategy. I mean, it's no secret, I am a fat woman, and I've been a fat woman pretty much all my adult life, and I was a fat child, fat teenager. And you know, it's really tricky for me to talk about it, although I think I've made my feelings about fat shaming quite clear, and you can read a blog that I wrote some years ago called Fat and Furious on my blog. But it's fair to say that I think this strategy that the government have recently announced kind of reiterates some of our biggest concerns about the way we think about healthy weight management in the UK. You know what, if just being told to exercise more, to eat my 5 a day would help me lose weight, do you not think I would have done it? Do you not think it would have been a kind of overnight success if it was as simple as that? There wouldn't be any fat people in the UK. But there is, and the reason why is because it's much more complicated. We know that healthy weight management is tied to your mental health. It's tied to poverty. It's tied to relationships. It's tied to, resources, knowledge, education. It's so incredibly complicated. Telling me to count calories is pretty much irrelevant. I know counting calories can support weight loss. But I also know that counting calories contributes to a great deal of eating distress. So I'm coming from it as a person who is subject to all of these various things. Somebody who, frankly, I'm one of the lucky ones. I wasn't bullied as a child, and I have a loving group of friends and an adoring family. And fat shaming just was never tolerated by my people. So I'm very lucky and fortunate that I haven't been bruised and traumatized by that. But I do know what it's like to try and live in society, live a normal life when you're a big person. How very difficult it is to not see that people might double take when you walk into a shop that only goes up to a certain size clothing. What it's like when people see me and my husband together, and my husband is a fit, athletic man, quite opposite to me. What it's like for you to feel that you're not beautiful enough because you don't quite look like the standard. All of those things contribute to deep emotional pain, and to some it can be a traumatic experience that just never goes away. I guess really disappointed that the government isn't acknowledging the psychological needs that people have to manage their weight, to manage their lifestyle. Watching other fat people do exercise on a TV advert will not motivate me to do exercise. What it will do is will make many people probably feel quite bad about not exercising. How are we truly motivating people to take responsibility for their weight? How are we truly enabling them to do that? What other policy levers are we going to think about to make the purchasing of food more equitable? What are we going to do about the extraordinary imagery that we are exposed to in terms of, you know, the ideal body shape, or, you know, what we should all look like from a very young age? You know, I certainly knew that I didn't look like the ideal. I've spent my life trying various diet and exercise programs. I've spent my life doing them. I've been much bigger and I've been much smaller. I've been fitter than I am now. Through all of that time, I think that my ultimate lesson has been that I could not achieve any of those things without all of the elements that I was talking about a minute ago: psychological support, real depth of understanding about nutrition and exercise, what those things absolutely do to my body. And I was reminded recently when I was doing a workout with a group that I've recently joined, and I was reminded of my very traditional Scottish PE teacher, and I have a wonderful mum who would frequently write me notes to excuse me from PE because the teacher was incredibly humiliating. I mean, I couldn't do a roly-poly until I was about 13, and even then I'm not even sure it was a very good one. But she would do things like, you know, stop the class and watch me try and do it. You know, that kind of humiliation, you know, will stay with you. But I guess, you know, what we could create is psychologically trauma-informed spaces where people could come and exercise without fear of judgment, without fear of humiliation and laughter. You know, I was really struck recently by a post some of my friends pointed to on social media. Women, big women like me, exercising in gym gear, you know, at the gym. And the comment section very much sort of said, you know, look at the state of you, you're awful in that gym wear. And I suddenly thought, gosh, we can't win. So when you're exercising, you're told you're too fat to exercise, and when you're not exercising, you're told you're fat because you're not exercising. So I guess what I'm saying in a very jumbled way is that the narrative around healthy weight management is jumbled. It's complex. But the overriding narrative feels shaming, punitive, not really understanding the depth of the problem. Now, I don't think when people say to me, you know, but you're glorifying obesity, that they're showing any care for the health of, for my health or the health of the nature. I think it's harmful. I think it's cruel. I think it's just not in any way an approach that you would take if you truly care about another human being. You know, when we talk about glorifying obesity, when we see some of, you know, plus size models or people who are out there who are fat, you know, do we say, you know, actually to the companies who are selling the food, you know, you're glorifying obesity? We don't really do that. We hold individuals to account at a level that I don't always think is reasonable or fair. So this has been very much a kind of personal perspective about the strategy from me. I could probably speak for hours and hours on this and probably not make any more sense than I have already. But I guess I wanted to say something that was much more personal, that reached out to people who are in a similar situation, thinking, well, how do I even begin to navigate what the government are asking of me? We at the centre will try and make sense of it as we go on. We're talking to them all the time about making sure that they're psychologically informed, making sure that they truly, truly understand what it means to lose weight, what's required, what's truly required. And believe me, telling me to go and ride a bike is not the thing. So I leave you with that, and I'm interested to know what you think about it. And if you want any more information, you can look at our website, and do look at the Equally Well UK website, where we have posted a response today as well. This is incredibly serious, and with all of the very serious things that are going on at the moment, this is just one of them. But you can see that we've got our eye on a number of things at the moment, and yeah, stay in touch. Thanks.